What are some of like the biggest issues you guys see in your classrooms regarding like poor catechesis or catechesis in general?
Yeah, well, I think, Dan and I were just talking about this. One of the things that's kind of like, I think affecting all the kids is, like the addiction to TikTok. Like, because Dan and I started teaching I just finished my 7th full year teaching, and so did Dan, just coincidentally. And, like our first few years, like we would tell, like I would tell Dan this because we don't work at the same school, but like I would tell a story about maybe a martyr. And like I could tell the kids were like hanging on to every word, like absolutely locked in and just in shock at the story and like actually like visibly affected by the story. And then as time went on, I actually, really since COVID, I would tell similar stories to different kids because, those kids graduate and new kids come up the ranks and they still listen like, and they're still really into it. They're great students, don't get me wrong, but there's not the wow factor has diminished. So like, I brought this up to Dan and Dan said the same thing. And what do you think it is like with one of your students actually answered it? Right?
Yeah, I asked my high school seniors, I was like, dude, you guys are like just dead. Like it's so hard to get you excited. And I'm usually not bad at doing that, at least when it comes to faith. And I said, what's the problem? And no one wanted to raise their hand. No one could think of it until a girl put her hand up. And she said, honestly, Mr. P, she's like, we see so much on TikTok. There's just nothing but crazy, weird things we're seeing all the time. So it's like nothing wows us anymore. And I thought that made a lot of sense because number one, their attention spans, kids' attention spans are like almost non-existent now because they're so used to being just stimulated mentally by like stuff on their screens so often. So they need like instant gratification. And the other thing is it's hard to figure out what's true and what's false. You think like politically, there's all these, like during each election, things are so bitter, people are so divisive. You don't know what's true and false because the media is not very honest about things. And so it's like, I think people are kind of getting that with the faith. It's like you can tell them about an incorrupt body of a saint. And whereas 10 years ago, people will be like super wowed by that, or even 5 years ago, now it's just like, well, I just saw, I don't know, like I just saw a spider do the hokey pokey on TikTok 2 minutes ago. So who cares about an incorruptible body? And it's weird because like one thing is an authentic, real miracle verified by the church, been going on for hundreds of years. The other is like a photoshopped, edited, you know what I mean? Like stupid video. But because they're seeing so many different things, it's actually making the miraculous, the real miracles that God is doing that are verified by the church is actually making it hard for these kids to appreciate that and to wow them that way. And then I think the final problem with catechesis too today would be like, I don't want to bash religion teachers or theology teachers because a lot of them are very good people trying to make a difference. But like, we need bold witness. We need like teachers that are a true witness, that are not afraid to tell their personal story, that are not afraid to be authentically Catholic, that are not afraid to stand for church teaching, do it with love, do it with gentleness, but also give them the truth because kids can see through fake stuff. They can see through watered down stuff so fast. They want something real. So I think we need bold witness as well.
I feel like it has to be more than just kind of Jesus loves you kind of stuff. Because I remember when I was a product of catechesis, I wasn't into my faith. I just went through the motions. And like, that's all I learned was that Jesus loved me. Like, that's nice and all. But it's like,
and he does. Like he does.
Yeah.
Like it's great. But that love goes way beyond.
Yeah. And
like, nice.
The personal testimony thing is huge too, because you can't teach it if you're not passionate about it. And like the kids can pick up on that. So it's like they need to tell like the kids why they are doing what they're doing.